Horsley from the Avenues for Success Film Production Club provided by Norwood Community Television, and I will be today's interview host. Today I will be interviewing Mr. Schulte from the Shepherd Chemical Company and Mrs. Ferguson from the Avenues for Success to discuss the power of partnerships. Mrs. Ferguson, will you introduce Mr. Schulte and tell us about the changes the Norwood City School after-school program has experienced with our new partnership?
Well, I'm really excited to be here today with Ken, and our partnership has brought about some great changes for the Norwood City Schools after-school programs. We've put in a lot of time, a lot of hours over the last few months, and within our partnership, we now have a new name for our program, which is Avenues for Success. We have a new logo. We have a new website. Lots of great things are happening because of this partnership with Chemical, and we look forward to many great things happening in the future.
Mr. Schulte, can you tell us a little bit about the history of the Shepherd Chemical Company in Norwood?
I probably can do that. Shepherd Chemical Company was started in Norwood in 1916 by the current chairman of the board's great-grandfather. So we're a fourth-generation family-owned business, and we've been in Norwood, as I said, since 1916, and we manufacture metal-based chemical catalysts. And we have actually 6 manufacturing locations. Two of them are in Europe, and multiple offices in various places around the world. Tokyo, for instance, Melbourne, Australia, Brussels, Shanghai, China. So we've expanded quite a bit since we began operations here, and look forward to continuing to be a good neighbor.
Thank you. And Mrs. Ferguson, how did the partnership between the Avenues for Success and the Shepherd Chemical Company develop?
I made a call to Mr. John Shepherd. It's probably been about 3 years ago to see if he would support our Teamy Race, which is our service learning project within Avenues for Success at the Relay for Life. And he graciously said he would support us and has done so for the last 3 years. And in our conversation, he said that he would like to learn more about our program. So we set up a meeting probably about a year and a half ago, and he and I discussed what Avenues for Success was about. And then he said he would like for us to meet with further people in his company and for me to come and share some more about our program. So that was how it started. Mr. Shepherd was interested in what we were doing.
Mr. Schulte, how did you become involved in the partnership?
Oh, Laura mentioned that she reached out to John Shepherd, and I work very closely with John Shepherd and his son Tom, who is the chairman. And I actually sat in the meeting with Laura and Tom and John, and we talked about how we might support the after-school program, Avenues for Success. And so the Shepherds invited me to become involved with the program and work with Laura to help them build a sustainable program, a program that will support itself, become self-supporting as time goes by.
Did your perception change of our after-school program when you learned about Avenues for Success? If yes, why?
Yes, it did change. My perception was that the after-school program was a way for the students to kind of be occupied after school, and I wasn't quite sure how they were occupied after school, but I've since learned that they can participate in any number of what is called clubs, and the clubs are designed to address or cater to their interests, whatever those interests might be. And so it was interesting to learn how many different clubs there are, and the fact that if a student is interested, then the after-school program is interested in providing them with that experience. And it's not strictly academic, it's anything one could imagine. Cooking classes, jet engines or jet airplanes, guitar, and so yeah, my perception of the after-school program very much changed.
Why does the Shepherd Chemical Company value community partnerships, and why do they need to be involved in our schools?
A core purpose of the Shepherd Chemical Company is to have a positive impact on the communities in which we operate. And obviously, we are resident in Norwood, and we direct our efforts to have a positive impact on the community in Norwood. And we think the schools are one of the more valuable, or a very valuable institution within the Norwood community. And so we direct our support to the Norwood City Schools, in this case after-school program, but also Norwood City Schools otherwise. The local YMCA, for instance, in Norwood. We support causes that the police value and the fire department. So again, it gets back to a core purpose, and that is to have a positive impact on the communities in which we live and operate.
Thank you. Why do you feel your time and the financial support of the Shepherd Chemical Company is a wise investment for your company?
Clearly, the schools are the future of our community and the future for our company. I mean, the employees, the future employees of the company are going to be educated in the school system. And so I think supporting the school system is a logical and natural thing for us to do, because the schools are going to be the future of our business. They're going to be the future employees and the future of our business.
Can you explain your thoughts on what well-educated means to your company?
I think well-educated suggests something beyond just the academic. I think it suggests a person or an individual who has had experiences, a variety of experiences, broad experiences, academic and otherwise. And I think just being skilled in mathematics or written skills or oral skills is certainly important, but understanding how to communicate and relate to other people is equally as important to functioning well in an organization. So, well-educated in my mind is beyond academics and encompasses a broad experience for the person.
What benefits does the Shepherd Chemical Company receive from the students of Norwood being well-educated?
Well, I think I alluded to it earlier in that a well-educated student or a well-educated employee brings the academic skills that we need, but also the social skills that are really important to functioning within an organization, to being part of a team, to working well with others. And so that's more or less the value to us.
Mr. Schulte and Mrs. Ferguson, what role do you feel the Avenues for Success has in providing the students of the Norwood City Schools the opportunity to becoming well-educated?
Well, Evan, I believe with great passion that all the experiences that happen to us in our lifetime make us who we are. And without having a really broad array of experiences and opportunities that the Avenues for Success program provides, we aren't well educated. And the better we have an understanding of there's a greater world out there, there's a lot of things that of interest that we might decide that become a part of our life because of an experience that we had, that becomes part of our education and makes us well educated. And it was a word that Ken had penned this summer in a article that we wrote together and was published in the Norwood Star, and it just completely embodied what I have always felt about Avenues for Success, that is what we are to our community and to our students and to our families. We give them the opportunities that they need to be well educated.
I think most people have interests beyond the academic, and the Avenues for Success program allows them to explore those interests and develop or identify their passion and maybe even discover something that translates to a career, a lifelong career or lifelong passion. And I think the after-school program provides the opportunity for them to, for the individual, for the student, to explore interests beyond the typical school experience. And I think that's very valuable to the individual in creating what we've talked about as the well-educated student. And I think that's the real benefit or value of the after-school program.
Mrs. Ferguson, how can Avenues for Success benefit from the partnership with the Shepherd Chemical Company, and why do you think we need this partnership?
I think that the benefits that we are receiving from our partnership with Shepherd Chemical are that the education world and the business world are kind of on two different avenues, if you would say. But for us to be successful as a program and to become 100% sustainable, we needed to combine that education piece and that business piece. And that's the piece that, under the direction of Ken, has just been incredible for Avenues for Success. The business knowledge that Shepherd Chemical can bring, that Ken has brought, and the hours that he has donated to the program are making a complete difference in combining those two avenues together so that we are becoming one and we're becoming more business-minded in that we are trying to become 100% sustainable. And the reason that we need them is that we don't have that expertise within our system. And everyone is geared towards providing an education, as we should be, and that expertise of business needed to come from the outside. And this has just been a perfect blend of business and education.
Mr. Schulte, do you have any additional thoughts about our partner that you would like to share about our partnership or program?
I think what Laura said speaks very well about the partnership that we've developed. Laura and the city schools, Norwood City Schools, function as an educational institution. Laura is an educator, and we're running a business. And the program needs to be sustainable and almost run like a business, and I can help her, or we can help her, the Shepherd Chemical Company, think like the business community and think like business people as well as educators. And I think, as Laura suggested, that's perhaps where the real value is that we can work together. Her background is educator, our background is running a business, and build the sustainable program that's going to benefit the students over the long term.
Thank you. Mrs. Ferguson, would you like to share any closing thoughts about our partnership with the Shepherd Chemical Company?
I would really like to thank Ken for the time that he has given to Avenues for Success. It's not always easy when you develop a partnership. There are different mindsets, there are different ways about doing things, but it's that blending together that make it such a great partnership. And I really, really appreciate what he has brought to the table. I appreciate that Shepherd Chemical has allowed him to give of his time, and I really think that he actually donates a lot more time than what probably was originally intended. And it is making an amazing difference in our program, and I know that we will become 100% sustainable. And it's exciting, all the changes. We're doing a very intensive marketing plan within the Norwood community business right now, and I'm excited to see what that's going to bring about. It'll be a year-long process, and it's been a great pleasure, and it's been a great learning experience for me. And as an educator, I love to learn, and I have learned a lot from Ken.
Mr. Schulte and Mrs. Ferguson, I would like to thank you for sharing the story of the new and exciting partnership between the Shepherd Chemical Company and Avenues for Success. We look forward to hearing great things from our partnership in the future. Thank you all for watching.
anticipate this at the onset, but it's actually been a lot of fun working with Laura and working on this project. It really has been. It's been very rewarding to me. Personally, professionally, it's been very rewarding. And that really matters a lot. That means very meaningful to me. And so I really look forward to continuing to work with Laura out into the future in, undetermined period of time until it'll be interesting to see what develops. And I'm quite certain that it'll be good things. There will be good things.